On Hurricane Erin, and even though the storm center is expected to stay offshore, the impacts will be felt right here at home across our neighborhoods. Just take a look at the sand and sea water that's coming up next in video right here at North Carolina Highway 12. We're tracking when the winds will peak, how high the waves will get, and the worst timing for coastal flooding. And Virginia's Governor Glenn Youngkin with a clear warning as Hurricane Erin continues to move through, including the one life-saving rule you shouldn't ignore. Good afternoon and welcome to News 3 at noon. I'm Gabrielle Harmon in for Anthony Sabella this afternoon. And you can definitely see behind me Hurricane Erin churning up the Atlantic. Let's take a full look at it so you can get a better view of the massive storm. The first warning storm team has been tracking its path for more than a week. Let's go ahead and get to meteorologist Miles Henderson. Miles, you have all the details in regards to when this could be calming down.
Yes, still a Category 2 hurricane, but now moving away from our coastline. It was the closest to the North Carolina coastline, about 200 miles away at 2 o'clock this morning. And it's been slowly kind of sliding to the north-northeast. You see a movement there at 18 miles per hour. Wind still at 100, gust to 120. It's expected to slowly weaken and continue that trek to the north and east over the next few days. And by the weekend, headed up towards the northern Atlantic. One of the bigger issues we're still dealing with, the wind. Right now seeing a wind gust of 40 miles per hour in Virginia Beach, gusting to 39 for Nags Head and Rodanthe. It's been a very windy day up and down the Outer Banks, and that's going to continue as we go into the afternoon. Outside, as far as rain goes, we've seen some light rain, some drizzle, but not too much as far as heavy rain is concerned, and that's to be expected. Most of those heavier rain bands are staying off over the Atlantic, so we'll continue with the clouds, a couple scattered showers here and there. The wind will still be an issue through this afternoon to evening, but so will that risk for flooding. We'll talk more about that threat for tidal flooding and coastal flooding coming up in just a few minutes. Temperatures will try to make a run at 80 today. Most of us will be stuck in the 70s. In the 70s with about a 30 to 40% chance for some of those scattered showers, mostly on the lighter side. Winds will be gusting to, we'll say 40 plus right along the coastline. 30 plus as you go inland. Still very windy through this afternoon to evening. Those winds begin to calm down as we go through the overnight into tomorrow. We'll talk more about that risk for tidal flooding coming up in just a few minutes.
This afternoon, part of Highway 12 in the Outer Banks remains closed because of overwash. The highway is the main road through much of the Outer Banks. News 3 reporter Coulter Anstead is live in the Oregon outlet at the northern end of the road closure. Coulter, it also looks very windy there, which could contribute to the overwash.
Yeah, Gabby, it is very windy here. As a matter of fact, I'm having a hard time standing still because it's so windy. Perhaps I should caveat that by saying I only weigh about 145 pounds. Regardless, the high wind can push water from the Atlantic Ocean up onto and over Highway 12 here behind me, causing the road to become impassable. That is what we are talking about when we talk about overwash. I'll go ahead and step out of the way so you can get a full look at the scene here. You're looking at the north end of the Mark Bass Knight Bridge, again in Oregon Inlet. The road, Highway 12, is currently closed all the way down south to Hatteras Island because of the overwash. And if you look here, you can see the two road closed signs, and you can see looks like a park ranger there. There was a North Carolina State Trooper there, just trying to make sure people don't go any farther south. And we have some pictures, some screenshots actually of North Carolina Department of Transportation cameras taken about an hour ago around 11 o'clock from Buxton north of Hatteras Village and at the Ocracoke Ferry. And if you take a look at these pictures, you can understand why they don't want people to go farther south. You can see the sand and the water over the road there, making the road impassable. Tuesday and Wednesday, as I was driving around the area before the road was closed, I was able to see work being done to try to prevent this kind of overwash. Exactly when the road will be back open, we don't know yet, but we will, of course, let you know when that does happen. Live in Oregon Inlet in the Outer Banks, Coulter Anstead, WTKR News 3.
All right, Coulter, thank you so much for your reporting, and we'll be sure to see you soon coming up again at News 3 at 4. And in Norfolk, the city has opened the York Street Garage for residents who are concerned that their vehicle needs to be at higher ground due to tidal flooding. That garage is open now and will remain open until 8 a.m. on Saturday. And in Virginia Beach, 4 parking garages at Town Center are opening for people looking to move their car to higher ground. During the storm, over the next few days, the city is opening the maroon, red, green, and orange garages. Make sure not to park in any reserved spaces. You could be towed. And Governor Glenn Youngkin gave an update to Hurricane Erin during a press conference yesterday. He's urging residents in the eastern part of Virginia to be prepared for any impact the storm could bring today and tomorrow.
And do not drive through heavy water. Your car is not a submarine. Turn around, do not drown. At the end of the day, your decisions are going to impact so much here, and so I ask you to make good ones.
I want to make some good decisions here, and our team coverage continues now at the Virginia Beach oceanfront. Let's go ahead and bring in News 3 reporter John Hood, who has the latest. And John, you've been out there all morning long. How are things compared from this morning to now?
Yeah, hey, good afternoon. Well, since we've been out here this morning, conditions seem to have gotten better. It is drizzling a little bit now down here at the oceanfront. We're still at the First Street Jetty. The wind gusts are still hitting you in the face, which is why I'm still wearing these glasses, trying to protect my eyes from the sand that's blowing around down here. But take a look behind us. Some people are really enjoying the surf out here now. The waves aren't as bad as they were, like I said, this morning. I mean, this morning you really couldn't see actually the rocks out there. The waves were covering it. Now you can kind of see it, and people were out here trying to get some surfing in. There's a person out there kite surfing, which has kind of a crowd gathered out here at Rudy's Inlet right now. Just seeing them do that in action over here. But again, it's really windy out here at the beach, but it's not too bad compared to what it was this morning. The city of Virginia Beach did send out a message this morning saying that no swimming is allowed at the beach right now because there are no lifeguards on the stands, given the conditions right now. So while some people are braving it out here, if you're not that great of a swimmer, I really wouldn't recommend being out here. It's still pretty rough. The waves are still really choppy. Actually, if you point down that way, you can see through Croatan. When we were out here earlier this morning, there was no one at Croatan. Now there's a couple people making their way up and down the beach. As you can see, all the seagulls out there. But that's about what it's looking like out here at the oceanfront. We're going to continue to stay out here, and we'll give you an update later today on the news at 4, 5, and 6. For now, in Virginia Beach, I'm John Hood, WTKR News 3.
John, thank you so much for that report. And still ahead on News 3 at noon, we're staying on the south side, this time heading to Norfolk after a soggy commute in some spots, where we're seeing tidal flooding in the Mermaid City. Up next.